I had to unmute it. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad to join you today. This is actually the first news stream of the week because we've been so busy the first 2 days of the week. So that means it's time for me to gift some memberships. I do this at the beginning of every week. I gift 5 memberships to try and match the generosity of this lovely community. All right, so here it comes. Oh, I can see you guys are being generous as well. Thank you, Stephen and Danny. There's my memberships. And again, if you watch this show and you're not currently a member, be sure to turn on that you're willing to accept gifted memberships. And then maybe you too will get one. Oh, Lisa gave 10 before we started. Oh, Lisa, that's so generous of you. I see that. And hey, Amy, thanks for becoming a member today. Or welcome back, actually. You got a ruby badge, Amy. Welcome back indeed. And thank you, Paul, as well. Rogue Frogger, you guys, again, such an incredibly generous community. All right, so, by the way, be sure to check out my Acolyte breakdown. Hey, Vladimir, I saw a bunch of you talking about the Acolyte before we got started. It's been so busy the last few days. I was out of YouTube notifications, so a notification was not able to go out to my subscribers. So I tried to promote it as best I could on Twitter and stuff, but I hope you'll go check out that video. I'm glad you enjoyed the breakdown, Danny. And then my Bad Boys review will be going up later today. I just filmed it right before we went live. Thanks, Vlad. All right, so we have 3 really great stories to go over today. We're starting to get big news. Big news is coming back. Makes me very happy. Happy birthday to Billy and Dane. Hey, Ben Storms. Look at so much activity right here in the stream. So we've got 3 great stories to go over. Please keep your questions and comments to the stories at hand. As always, I will pay more attention to your questions and comments at the end of each section. And then, of course, at the end of every stream for the last 10 minutes, you can ask me anything that you would like. All right, let's get started. We got some news. We got some big news to talk about. Hold on. Story number 1. Let me go down. Get it there. Where'd it go? There it is. Boop. Okay. So I covered up Deadpool and Wolverine a little bit there. All right, so that's right. It's an Avengers boop, Leon. So this story broke late yesterday with rumors going out that Marvel and Kevin Feige really want Shawn Levy to direct the next Avengers movie. And he, of course, is directing Deadpool and Wolverine for them. You couldn't have missed it because he's doing pretty much all the press with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. And he's worked with Ryan Reynolds a lot. They not only did Free Guy together, but also the Atom Project, you might recall, on Netflix. Free Guy, very good. Atom Project, typical Netflix movie. All right, so this is apparently the second time they've offered this Avengers movie to Shawn Levy. Why is it the second time? Well, apparently the first time he said, no, sorry guys, I got to do Stranger Things 5. Stranger Things 5, of course, hot commodity. And Shawn Levy is not only the producer of that show, but he also directs several of the episodes. And I think he's really improved him as a director. I think that, a lot of the director that he is today is because of the Stranger Things episodes that he's done. And he's done, if you look up the episodes that he's directed, they're fantastic. Now, some of you might be like, what about the Duffer Brothers? Well, there's your answer. They're very much involved in Stranger Things 5, which is probably why they haven't been able to accept or even consider any offers for a movie. Although I'm sure a lot of people will want to add them to their dance card once they become available. So the next best thing after the Duffer Brothers is Shawn Levy, who works very closely with them. Now, my initial reaction to this news was, are they just promoting Deadpool and Wolverine? This is a classic Hollywood trick, along with announcing the sequel has been greenlit right before a movie opens. They're like, oh, you better see it, because we're already going to make another one. And sometimes they don't, even though they said that they would. Now, you might have seen this being used recently, horribly so. It really blew up in their faces with James Gunn saying, hey, Andy Muschietti, go see The Flash because Andy Muschietti is going to direct the Batman Brave and the Bold movie, right? Remember that? And that did not work out. And in fact, we have not heard anything about Brave and the Bold because, now they're stuck with Andy Muschietti directing. So we'll see what they decide to do. It's funny, Chris, you say that Avengers has a totally different vibe than Deadpool and Wolverine, because I suspect that maybe it doesn't. So with this story, we got a little bit of more information about how the Avengers movie is shaping up post Jonathan Majors. Originally it was going to be Kang Dynasty. Now it's just Avengers 5. J.A., I'm not sure about Jordan Peele. I saw somebody else ask about that as well. That's just a rumor that he's met with Marvel. I'll be curious to see if that's true, and if so, what project it is. But I don't think Jordan Peele, as much as I love the guy, I don't think he has the experience necessary to direct an Avengers movie. You need someone who really has the experience doing a big production, right? All right, so, part of me wonders if maybe it would be for Blade, but I don't think Marvel should make Blade anymore, because I think the Ryan Coogler vampire movie that he's doing with Michael B. Jordan is just going to completely, KO that whole situation. All right, so some of the details about this apparent Avengers movie. They're saying, forget having a team of about 6 or 10 people like Avengers Endgame. They said, we're going to have like 60 MCU characters in this movie. 60 of them. Everybody you could possibly think of is going to be in this movie. And you know what I say to that? I say, sounds to me like you're skipping right to Secret Wars, which is what we all said they should do. We were all like, just get to Secret Wars, man. Don't make me wait for like another 4 or 5 years for that thing. Let's just do it. And there's even a Secret Wars tease in the Deadpool and Wolverine teaser trailer. Remember, they had the cover of that comic. So that's, to me, sounds like what they're going to be doing. And if you're doing Secret Wars, well, then perhaps Shawn Levy is a good choice. I think that so far, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I think the fight scenes look pretty good so far in Deadpool and Wolverine. I've been impressed with at least how they look in the trailers. And I think that Secret Wars would be a movie almost entirely composed of fight scenes, which I think is great. I think it would be like a video game, like Injustice, right? But for Marvel. I think it's a great idea. I think it would be a palate cleanser, right? And I, in fact, suggested that DC should do this with a big fight movie. I told you that Dwayne Johnson wanted to do Suicide Squad and the Justice League team on to take down Black Adam, and I said I thought that was a great idea. I think James Gunn has done some elements to that with the Superman movie that he's putting together, because we're like, why are all these other DC characters in this movie? And I think it's to fight Superman, honestly, or a version of Superman, as you'll see. So I think, it's funny, Ben 10, you say that Shawn Levy is not like the Russo brothers, but why would you say that? I think that Free Guy was very strong, and I think, let's see. I think that, I wouldn't necessarily feel that this is a good choice, but I can see the choice. All right? And again, as I said, I think that Shawn Levy has grown exponentially as a director thanks to his work on Stranger Things and Free Guy. But then when you throw the Adam Project back in there, it does make me a little bit nervous. I'm like, but not like the Adam Project, right? Right? That was just a horrible, unfortunate accident. I think that they should wait to sign Shawn Levy until we're not too far off right now. I think the whole reason that Shawn Levy's back in play is because they've delayed Avengers 5. So I'd say, okay, let's wait a few extra weeks and let's see what the reviews are like for Deadpool and Wolverine, right? Let's see what the opening weekend is. Billy says, great side comment, but how about Jordan Peele for X-Men? That I would think would be a great choice potentially. Although I don't know what his experience is with directing action. I know they always say they can bring in the B team and that directors don't need to worry about that, but I think they do. There's always a curve to having to learn. And I don't know if I want someone learning on the first X-Men movie, to be honest with you. All right, so anyway, I hope that they wait to sign Shawn Levy until they see what the reviews are like for Deadpool and Wolverine. I think they see what the opening weekend is like. And I think perhaps most importantly, they see what the audience reaction is to Deadpool and Wolverine. We know very little about this film. We don't know if it's going to hit the same way that Spider-Man No Way Home did. And I think it's just too early to tell. I'm sure that Kevin Feige has seen Deadpool and Wolverine and thinks it's fantastic. That's the only reason he'd be doing this. But James Gunn saw The Flash, and he thought it was fantastic. You don't know until you find out. So that's what I think. Trisha, what Dear Billy episode, you're using just the pronouns. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. Jordan Peele or Shawn Levy? So, LP, the B team, that's a great question. What is this B team I speak of? Well, it's called the second unit, which is technically the B team. Oh, that's Stranger Things. Okay, then yes. I mean, I think, as I said, Shawn Levy's Stranger Things episodes have been extremely well directed. But back to what I'm saying about the B team. So there's the second unit. So the second unit usually films a lot of action sequences. They'll do pickups. Usually in the past, it's been things that the director doesn't need to be involved in to get, like an establishing shot, stuff like that. So the movie can be, move along expeditiously. However, I think with action movies, the second unit has become a lot more, vital, and they'll cover a lot of the action. And sometimes, they will outright direct action sequences. I mean, that's at least how Marvel has used them. And I think that's been a mistake. I think we can tell. I think that I think you want a director who comes up with a really cool idea for the action sequence and then has people help them implement it. So I hope that that's not what they do. So, I mean, but I think that Shawn Levy has experience with action sequences at this point. I think he cut his teeth on Stranger Things and Free Guy. And I think that it looks really strong. I mean, again, I think the action looks particularly strong in Deadpool and Wolverine. Thanks, Lawson. Nice to see you. All right, so that's my thoughts on Shawn Levy potentially directing Avengers 5. Jamal says, who are the Avengers now? There would be no Avengers. That's the point of Secret Wars. It would just be all these Marvel characters fighting. And it would just be technically an Avengers movie because it features all the Avengers and Marvel characters in it. But it would just be a lot of fighting. Hey, Wanda's attorney says, could Avengers 5 potentially be a war between Earths culminating in the creation of Battleworld? Well, no, I don't think you would do two movies like that, Wanda's attorney. Why would you do a pre-Secret Wars? Trisha, I thought the Eternals action had good elements to it, but I don't think they had really any long action sequences. I mean, I think they were great shots. I agree. But I don't think the action sequences themselves were strong. I know a lot of you are saying, get Michael Waldron out of here. And I agree with you, but he's not going anywhere, it seems. And I feel a little bit better about it because how much writing does he have to do? He just has to come up with reasons for all these characters to fight each other. And considering his Rick and Morty background, that might be a strong suit for him. Oh, Lawson, I'm sorry you're having a bad day. It's very kind of you that even though you're having a bad day, you got those memberships for other people. I'm glad we could lift your spirits a little bit. Mika says, do you still think this is a 2025 release? I think probably not. If I had to guess. But let's see. I mean, I think they better get it right. So I would rather they wait to see how Deadpool and Wolverine is received before they sign this director. I'd just be really careful. I mean, let's slow down. Let's slow down. Oh, no wonder you brought up Evangeline Lilly. I was like, you guys trying to change the subject, but you're right. She's a Marvel character. And she has quit acting because she says, oh, nobody here appreciates. She's like, she doesn't feel appreciated, basically. She's the one who went and talked about vaccines and stuff. So that's on her. Trisha, I think the Russo brothers have done strong work, but other Marvel directors have been able to deliver. I think Shang-Chi was very good. I thought that, Ryan Coogler obviously has been fantastic. I would love to get a new Wasp, to be honest with you. The Wasp has not gotten the attention that she deserves. And I thought Evangeline Lilly was good in the role. I thought she was as good as she could be. I thought the role was really written as a wet blanket, which was unfortunate. But she really rocked that ponytail, and she did have some cool sequences. So I don't think they're going to get... I don't think you need to recast the Wasp. I would just bring back Michelle Pfeiffer, who one of the best things in Quantumania. Michael says, smart move. The MCU needs commercial mainstream Avengers movies and to step away from more niche things. Hey, Mr. Stefan. I like your little animated picture there. Yeah, I think it would be very strong. I think it would be, I think that Shawn Levy, if Deadpool and Wolverine hits, I think he is a good choice. I'm glad you guys agree about Michelle Pfeiffer, right? I mean, she was great. She's a great Wasp. I think she has the reputation and the legend status that Janet Van Dyne should have. And I thought she was great. I think that Evangeline Lilly, just have her... I don't think anybody would miss her Wasp, to be honest with you. And I think it would be too confusing for someone else to be like, hey, I'm sure that Paul Rudd wouldn't be able to resist being like, you look different. But just bring in Michelle Pfeiffer. Have hope on some kind of mission in the quantum realm. She's doing something like some kind of research. That's all we need to say. His daughter is also suspiciously missing as well. Whatever. There's 60 characters. You're not going to be wondering where each and every single one of them is. Or maybe you will be. But yeah. All right. All right, so I think you guys are ready for the next story. Yeah, I think you're ready. That's right, Mish. Just bring in Wanda. Where the heck is Wanda? Wanda. Oh, Jamie says 60 character posters. I know, I got to tell you. I would go through those posters and rank every single one of them. Bring it on. I would love to have 60 character posters. And not just close-ups of their heads. Marvel's been doing that lately. Like for Shang-Chi and a couple, like the Eternals. They were like, here's the poster, just a head. And I'm like, I want to see the costume. I want to see a little bit of the powers. You know, let's put a little sparkle on this. The Avengers posters for Endgame were really strong. I liked them a lot. You could have 60 character posters, Ben. I believe that you could. I would totally do it. I mean, are we doing this or not? Are there 60 characters in this movie or not? That's the selling point. And they're all going to get punched in the face. It's going to be great. All right. Okay. That's right, Albert Diaz. We just need Paul Rudd, Michael Douglas, and Michelle Pfeiffer. I don't need anybody else. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, Jeff, did I miss a big super chat like that? Let me see what it was. If it's still there. Oh, it's not there. I don't know what happened to it. The only one I see close to that is Michael McKennis. All right. It was Al Patrickson? All right, Al. I'll give you a moment to write it irregular without having to do a super chat. Jason, Winter Soldier was a fantastic film. The Russo brothers certainly had their moments. We're giving Al a minute here, and then we got to move on. Jeff, you care more about this than Al. Tenerife, the difference with Civil War was like these two groups fighting over something, like this, the Superhero Registration Act. Basically. This would be just like everybody's fighting, just because, the misunderstandings and stuff like that. There would not be the strong narrative. It would just be, let's just fight. Let's just everybody fight. Okay, let's move on. Jeff says he asked about X-Men versus Avengers out of time for Avengers 5 leading into Secret Wars. No, they're not going to do that. I really feel if there's going to be 60 characters in this movie, it's Secret Wars. I just totally feel there can't be anything else. Or then what's the point of Secret Wars? Secret Wars has to feel special. All right. Story number 2. Boop. All right, Monster High was announced with a big flashy press release today. I got it too. That they're making a live-action Monster High movie. Now, before we talk about this new movie, somebody responded on Twitter and was very frustrated and said, this would be the 3rd Monster High live-action movie. Thank you very much. And so I was like, what? So I looked it up, and they have indeed made some Monster High movies for Nickelodeon. Although you can see the kind of movie it is. It's very much a streaming film for, like, tweens. I don't think that's what they're doing here. I think they're clearly trying to capitalize on the Barbie excitement. All right, so Monster High. Mattel, post-Barbie, they're getting busy. We just talked about the Masters of the Universe movie, which seems to be finally moving ahead at Amazon MGM for a theatrical release. And by the way, both Barbie and the Masters of the Universe are fantastic episodes of The Toys That Made Us on Netflix. If you've never seen that show and you're looking for something to watch, I highly recommend that you check it out, and you'll see how vital both Barbie and Masters of the Universe are to Mattel as a company. So that's their big guns. But Monster High was kind of their answer to the Bratz dolls. I don't know if you recall that for a while, there was a moment there, and I don't know if Barbie ever truly recovered, but Barbie had a serious challenge from the Bratz dolls. And, people suddenly thought those dolls were a lot cooler. So Mattel's answer to that was the Monster High dolls, which are very similar, in design. And they're extremely popular. They're right. That's right, Poke. They were an animated show on Nickelodeon before they were even a live-action movie. And they're very, very popular. But you know what I think is the most interesting thing about this announcement? This deal is not going to be with Paramount. The Monster High streaming movies, as I just said, came out on Nickelodeon and Paramount Plus. But this new one is going to be with Universal. Oh, that's fantastic. Because, of course, Universal owns all the classic movie monsters. And, in fact, is building a theme park where Epic Universe, where one of the lands focuses on the Universal monsters. Oh, this is pretty good. So if you're not familiar with Monster High features a high school where the children of the original classic movie monsters go to school. So you've got like the daughter of Frankenstein and all these different things, etc. And I think it's pretty smart, especially because Universal has, not only can they add some cachet by tying in the original movie monsters that are theirs, but also they can use them. I'm sure they're like, what we could do with these characters, have them appear at the theme park. A Monster High live action stage show with singing and dancing. Yes, thank you. I mean, I don't even watch, I've never been into Monster High, but even I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And Brett's ahead of me, right ahead of the curve there, because that's right. I feel, I didn't load it. Hold on. The Descendants is Disney's very similar brand to, Disney's answer to this. All right, there it is. If you have not seen this, everybody's familiar with this. This is a brand about the children of the Disney fairy tale characters, both the heroes and the villains. So they have this upcoming movie, The Rise of Red. So that's the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. But you can see, look, Brandy's back. Okay, so, they've got the daughter of Ursula there. They got all this stuff going on. Very popular stuff. I have not watched a recent Descendants movie. It started out with the son of the daughter of like the evil queen from Snow White, Cruella's son, Jafar's son, and somebody else. I think Snow White's daughter or something was in there. But yeah. So this movie, it's a new movie coming up. The Descendants has had a ton of installments at this point, and it's very clever. And I think that Universal. Here's the thing, where is the other thing? This already exists with Monster High 2. Look at this. It's the same thing. Very similar. Okay? Hello, I see you there. Very similar. Very, very similar. So there's no reason for Mattel to level up if they're not going to truly level up. So I feel that they wouldn't be partnering with Universal if they weren't trying to do something maybe a little bit more serious. Maybe something a little more Edward Scissorhands, something like that. The infamous Kiki, your daughter loves those movies? That's great. Maybe she'll love these new installments as well. All right, but here's where things get crazy. Look who's going to be making this movie. Akiva Goldsman. How does he keep getting work? So he has one Oscar for writing A Beautiful Mind back in the day, but he's done a lot of crap. But now he's doing this. And the reason they're doing it, and it must be because, see, that CM had the appropriate response. No. But he's doing this other movie for Mattel called Major Matt Mason. And that's been in the works. That article, this headline is from 2019. However, they said recently last year that this movie is moving forward. So who the heck is this guy? Well, here he is. Here's his little space playset. This is Major Matt Mason. He's an astronaut who lives on the moon. And I gotta tell you, that sounds pretty good for Tom Hanks. And you can see all the color. It's very colorful. And I think this kind of sounds fun, maybe. So they must feel good about the way this movie's coming together to give Akiva Goldsman yet another one of their properties. But we'll see how it works out. But yeah, as I said, I feel like there have to, the Barbie movie took the Barbie brand extremely serious. Very, very serious. And I think that this would have to do the same. It wouldn't have to just be a ploy to get fans of the toy. It would have to be something that's trying to go beyond them. And it could be like a family comedy about the Universal monsters. So and then bring in the Monster High demographic as well. So I think it's a solid play if they do it right. If it's just another version of those other previous movies, well, those already exist, and I see no reason to involve Universal Studios or movie talent, movie level talent. So, all right. Does anybody have any questions or comments about this story before we go on to the third story of the day? Oh, Tenerife. That's a great comparison. Wednesday. Also from Tim Burton on Netflix, with Jenna Ortega, obviously. That right there is the pitch. You go, look how well Wednesday did. I've got my own version of that. I think that's very clever. Josh Loves Movies says Emerald Fennell should do it. Emerald Fennell? I don't know. I think she's trying to do more adult stuff. Fritz Fromm says, is this movie going to be for kids or adults or both? Well, if they do it right, it'll be for both. It'll be something that adults can enjoy, but that families can watch together. I think that's why Wednesday did so well. Dre Film says, Wednesday meets Clueless. I don't know. That sounds like a pretty good pitch for like a lower budget movie. I think Clueless maybe would limit the audience a little bit. I don't know if I would say Clueless. I would say Wednesday meets, like the classic Universal monsters. I would basically say I want to do Wednesday for classic Universal monsters. That's what I would say. But as a movie, I guess. Dagai Tai, it can sound quite corny, which is why it's so crucial to get just the right tone. Jamie says, don't care for the show, but super interested in the kids of the classic monsters. I mean, I think it's a good idea. Zay, I would hope it would be more serious. I hope it would be very much like Wednesday, but even more so, because it needs to be movie level. Wednesday was very, very good. I loved Wednesday, but it felt like a show. It didn't feel like a movie to me. The way Stranger Things does. Stranger Things is, I think, movie level. All right, so let's go to the third story of the day. Hold on. Third story of the day. Boom, baby. I'm covering this purely because I like everybody who's involved. I really like Gen V. I think it's a great show, and I love Hamish Linklater. Oh my God, I forgot to put in this image as well. Ah, darn it. I had so many images. Oh no, wait, did I remember to do it? No, damn it. Here it comes. Here it comes, baby. There it is. If you don't know who Hamish Linklater is, there he is. He's from Midnight Mass, the Mike Flanagan series. He played the very fantastic role of the priest, and he's a great actor. I'm a big Hamish, not enough to learn how to pronounce his name correctly. Hamish Linklater, I think he's just fantastic. All right, so Gen V. So Gen V, of course, had a very tragic incident lately where Chance Perdomo, who was one of the leads, died in a motorcycle accident on his way to going to the read-through for the new season. And they decided not to recast the character, which works because, of course, the character had become sick at the end of Gen V Season 1. And, I think before, obviously, he was going to get better, and now they're going to have a situation where, sadly, he does not. So Season 2 had to be adjusted. They were about to get ready to start filming, but it had to be adjusted, but it looks like it has been adjusted because now they seem to be getting ready to film because they're casting. And they cast Hamish Linklater as the new dean of Godolphin University, a.k.a. God U. Of course, the previous dean was murdered at the end of Season 1. So he'll be playing a character called Cypher. I looked it up. This character does not appear in the boys' comics, so it's a new character. And the way they describe him is trained as a scientist, he's politically brilliant, and has the trust and admiration of officials at the highest level. Well, and you see how the boys' Season 4 ends, that'll make even more sense to you. But speaking of The Boys season 4, I'm not allowed to review it yet. The embargo is still listed. I'm sorry, Lisa, to hear about your ex-husband. I'm sorry to hear that he was injured. And I'm glad you guys are having have still a civil relationship. But anyway, speaking of The Boys season 4, I was surprised how little Gen V factored into it. To the point that you don't need to watch Gen V to watch The Boys season 4, which I had thought maybe you would have needed to. But it's too bad. Gen V is a phenomenal show. And people started to really like it towards the end. It started just like The Boys. You know, at first people were ignoring it, but then people were like, wow, this is a pretty good show. Danny says it was the change of the Clancy Brown character. No, there was another character after that. And then now they go through a lot of deans at Godolphin. I don't know if Clancy Brown was he wasn't the dean. He was a professor or an advisor who was very popular, I believe. But yeah, see, as you can see, everyone's saying Gen V is a great show, and I'm very excited for it to return. War and Peace. Don't forget, you still have a lead of color with Marie. You know, she's still obviously the lead of the show. She's fantastic. I love her, you know, and a lot of people want Patrick Schwarzenegger even to find a way to come back because he was very popular on the show as well. It's a great show. I wish it was tied in more to The Boys because then it would mean even more people would discover it. But I'm so glad that he's been cast. I think, you know, he's been around for a very long time. I first became a fan of him on The New Adventures of Old Christine. Where did you first learn that Hamish Linklater was a phenomenal actor? He, of course, then was in Midnight Mass years later, this show, which I think is great. And he was recently on the Manhunt series on Apple TV, where he played Abraham Lincoln, and in fact was pretty bad. But after a while, I kind of came to like what he did with the role. But at first, I was like, this is the one bad thing about this show. But, you know, I came to like his Lincoln. I thought it was he made some interesting acting choices. Look, J. Jonah Jameson's never even heard of him. You should find out who he is. That's right, Kareem. He was on Legion. I watched Legion, and I don't remember him that much on the show, but he's great. He's just a really wonderful actor, and he's particularly good in these things. If you haven't watched Midnight Mass, it's one of Mike Flanagan's better Netflix series. All right. Yeah, I saw him credited, Keem, in the first Fantastic Four movie. And I'm like, what? I don't remember him at all. That's crazy. Yeah, he's great in a lot of things. He's very talented. Charlotte says he was great in 42. All right. Does anybody have any questions or comments about this story? Very short story. I just, I needed a third story, and I wanted to include it because, again, as I said, I'm a big fan of the actor and the show. So I'm very happy for him. Oh, thanks, Oralysis. That's right, Danny. They're not recasting Chance Perdomo, and I'm very glad about that. I think that he should be remembered. I wouldn't want to recast the role. Really tragic. That's right, Julian. Ugly Betty. Great place for Hamish Linklater. Okay, I think you guys are ready for the Ask Me Anything portion of the stream. Okay. Kish and Chips, I did not see Mike Flanagan's comments about physical media. That Mike Flanagan, he's got 1 million lives. I guess he makes so much content that even though some of it sucks, some of it's very good. All right, it's 3:39. You can ask me anything you like. We'll just make it an even 3:50. So you got 11 minutes of Ask Me Anything. Mika says, what do you think of Elle Fanning being in the new Predator movie? They can't keep doing the same thing where it's a young woman versus the Predator. But I guess people did like Prey. Eli, I did see the Beatles casting. It's a rumor. I was almost going to swap it in for one of these stories or make a note to cover it tomorrow, but I'm not going to cover it until it's confirmed. Jamie says, what's your sense of the Acolyte review? Well, I loved it. I think the problem beforehand was that people were only hating on the Acolyte because the trailers weren't that good. But now, thankfully, a lot of people have discovered that it's amazing. So finally, you have a lot of people talking good about it, and you have a lot of people, talking bad about it. And that's why I think it blew up on Twitter last night, on social media. I think people, suddenly everybody was talking about it, positive and negative, and so it just was huge. We'll see what the ratings are, but right now, based on social media, Disney Plus has a hit show, which is great. I love that for The Acolyte. But we'll see what the ratings actually are. Stardust says top 3 Hugh Jackman movies. X2. Let's see here. I saw him in The Music Man on Broadway. I thought he was great there. Let me look up Hugh Jackman, because I'm only thinking of Marvel movies. And he's done other stuff, damn it. Oh, The Greatest Showman. He was great in that. He's great. He's such a good performer. Okay, I'll go X2, The Greatest Showman. Ooh, and Prisoners. That's a great movie as well. What a great guy. Lucas says, do you think more franchises should make these younger demographic shows to appeal to the 18 to 24 crowd? Sandman, where'd it go? Sandman did the same with Dead Boy Detectives. Well, let's see how that works out for them. We haven't seen if Sandman Season 2 will benefit from Dead Boy Detectives. But and we'll see if The Boys benefits from Gen V. I think so far so good. I don't know if they should make a Young Avengers movie just yet. Let's see. And I'm still nervous about the Teen Titans movie. I think they've already done enough with the Titans. Let's see here. Oh, amazing. I'm glad you enjoyed The Acolyte so far. Jason says Mike Flanagan is the M. Night of Netflix. That's actually a pretty on spot comment. I agree with that. Hey, Ohad. Poke says, what do you think about the new casting for Knives Out 3? You talking about Josh Brolin? Not the star I was looking for, if you would even call him a star. Andrew James says, any Inside Out 2 tea? Well, press screenings are next week, and the review embargo lifts the day after on Wednesday the 12th. I'm really excited to see it. Dancing Doug 60 says, Grace, do you think the new DC Batman can be an unknown, or does he have to be a big name actor? He's got to be a big name actor, I'm afraid. That's just the way they do it. I don't know why they're making a Batman movie when they have Robert Pattinson's Batman. It's stupid. Ohad, I will not be reviewing House of the Dragon. They're giving out screeners to very few people, and when they do, it's only episode 1. And I will be getting episode 1 early, but I can't review a show off of one episode. But I will have my breakdown ready for you very close to the release of the episode, though, because of that. So I'm excited about that. Harrison, Star Wars is still trending. I love it, because people are now fighting about it and defending it, which just really raises the profile. Okay, you guys want a poll? I'll ask you what you thought of The Acolyte. What do you think? I think that they're trying to avoid spoilers for House of the Dragon, which is why they're doing it that way. Loved it. Pretty good. Hated it. Not watching. Okay. And again, as always, anyone can vote in a poll. All right, hold on. I got to go back. I missed some questions. Oh, yeah. Donner actually asked for this poll. Donner, great minds. Tom Pelphrey as DCU Batman CM. I really love Tom Pelphrey. I don't know. Do I want to see his career completely implode? I don't know. I would like that, though. I do like him that much. John Thrasher says, any tea or guesses about what we'll hear from Marvel at Comic-Con? With the slowdown of content coming, maybe they shouldn't announce anything. I love you too, John Thrasher. I would hope, I haven't heard anything, but my guess would be that maybe we would get a first look at the Fantastic Four costumes. That would be really nice, something like that maybe. Let's see here. Zay says, hey Grace, will you be doing a social media review in reaction to Inside Out 2? After I see it, I'll try and tweet something, and I'll be reviewing it the very next day. And I'm planning to do a spoiler review. Sally Webster says, thank you for brightening my spirit. My pleasure, Sally. My neighbor and best friend, who has lived on our street for 50 years, has told us she'll be retiring and moving to Thailand. Well, hey, I'm glad she's doing something positive and exciting with her life. I'm sorry that's such a bummer for you, but maybe you can go visit her in Thailand, right? You'll have a place to stay. Jeremiah says, can you watch Don't Breathe to prep for Alien? It's not as gross as Evil Dead. No, I'm just going to watch Alien. Don't gross me out, man. Although I am going to watch Copycat because so many of you suggested it. Jack M. Hey, thanks for joining in. Fritz Fromm says, Grace, did the Venom trailer perform as expected or better, worse? I think a little worse. I think I'm surprised that neither the Venom nor the Alien trailers really hit that hard. I feel both of those movies are probably going to do better on digital than they will in theaters. As I said in my breakdown yesterday for Alien, I feel it will probably perform in the level of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is good for 2024, but not good for the franchise. Maisie, you have your Inside Out 2 tickets? Well, I can see you're a big Pixar fan. You have was it a turning red avatar that you have for your picture there? Let's see here. Fritz, I am hoping to do a spoiler review for The Bear Season 3. I got to see when I get my screeners. Rafa's Vision says, I do hope they include Evangeline Lilly in the next Avengers. She has never gotten her due and deserves better. Well, she's the one who quit. Let's see if she'll quit if Marvel calls. Kevin Feige's like, yeah, right. Poke says, what do you think of Max raising prices? They know that they're about to launch House of the Dragon. Let's see here. Timo Doc says, Grace, I will be in New York City this weekend. Do you have any good brunch recommendations? Well, Sarah Beth's is one of the most famous breakfast restaurants in the city. It's iconic. So I would recommend, they have multiple locations in the city. So I would find a Sarah Beth's and you can get a really good brunch there. Michael, I got you to watch The Acolyte. And you said you thought it was not bad, right? I think I saw you say that on Twitter. Let's see here. Jico says, Grace, what are your thoughts on the Tiana ride? Well, I haven't ridden it myself, but as I've said before, I would like it. I wish that it had Dr. Facilier in it. I wish it had a little bit more adventure, but I think that I'm so happy that Tiana has an attraction. I really want it to be successful. I think the animatronics so far look incredible, and so that makes me very happy. Let's see here. Josh Loves Movies guesses a first look at Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four suits. That's a pretty solid guess, Josh. Maybe an Agatha trailer or something like that. Film Fanatic says, do you think that Bong Joon-ho deserves final cut on Mickey 17? Well, part of me feels he does, because he, of course, won so many Oscars for Parasite. But then at the same time, I thought Snowpiercer was weak. So as an executive, I want my movie to make money. So I think I would talk to Bong Joon-ho and hope that we could make the decision together. I mean, I just really talk to him about it. I'd be like, I feel your thing is a little weak. And then why do you want to keep it? I guess I'd really make him sit there and explain all of his choices to me. Let's see here. Xtina says, are you as sad as I am that they got their way and got the J-Lo tour canceled? Oh, you had tickets. Oh, I'm sad for you. Yes, I am very sad for you. I feel, I think there are also, another problem that it might have been, besides some of the drama over her documentary, the bad reaction to it was that maybe there's just been too many concerts. Like we've just had all these concerts and people spent their money. All right, let me close the poll. Let me see what your vote is. Hold on. I'll come back, Vlad. 1 second. All right. What did you think of The Acolyte? Of those who voted, 46% of you are not watching. Oh, not good for those ratings. 24% of you thought it was pretty good, while 23% of you loved it, and 5% of you hated it. All right, so basically it's like 50-50 with a slight edge to the dislike. So, let's see how that works. I mean, at least it's a lightning rod show. I guess you could say that. Let's see here. Vlad says, hi, Grace. I've been a viewer for over 12 years. Literally grew up on your videos. Just got a substantial raise so I can finally join in. Just wanted to say thank you for all the good times. Vlad, I'm so happy to be with you on your journey of life, and that's so great that it's going well. I'm so glad that you got a raise, and I'm so moved that one of the things you decided to do with that extra money was to become a member. And I'm glad that you did. Welcome to the conversation. Let's see here. I'm seeing a lot of copycat love. Ohad, Hack Season 3 was incredible. I loved Hack Season 3. I'm so excited for Season 4. Brandon says, we lost my grandpa this past weekend, thinking about him and how he loved Westerns. I'm sorry to hear that, Brandon. Do you have any favorite Westerns, Grace? I sure do. I love 3:10 to Yuma. I like the original Stagecoach from John Wayne. Those are two fantastic Westerns. Unforgiven, of course, is a classic. And 3:10 to Yuma, by the way, I'm talking about the recent one with Christian Bale and then also Russell Crowe. Also, speaking of Christian Bale, he made another Western recently called Hostiles, which was Jonathan Majors' first big role. And that's a great movie as well. Kevin Costner, I don't know about this new one, but he's made some great Westerns too. Silverado, Open Range is pretty solid. Dancing Dog 60. I'm not watching any more Maxine trailers. I just want to see the movie. I hope I can review it. I said some pretty bad things about Civil War. I hated it. Let's see here. Oh, Maisie is a big Pixar fan. That's fantastic. Kareem says, Grace, with the MCU being a pickle if they don't debut their X-Men soon. I see X-Men 97 and Deadpool, Fox's X-Men casting a very long shadow. I think they should take a break. I don't know how they're going to be able to compete with X-Men 97, to be honest with you. Eli, I don't think I would make a letterbox because I share my opinion on YouTube and I share my opinion on Twitter. And I just want to keep everybody in the same place. So that's my social media and that's my video space. Brett, I have not watched Godzilla -1 yet, I'm afraid. June is just too crazy. Where was that movie when I needed it in May, when nothing was happening? Also, you think that Despicable Me 4 will outgross Deadpool and Wolverine this summer? It could. It could. One's rated R, one is PG-13. Will, I don't think it took too long for Godzilla to come out. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. CM says, how can I get my script made? It's a smaller drama film, so that it would benefit. Would that be a benefit or a hindrance? As I've said before, when people have asked this question, the best way to get your script in front of the right people is to enter it in screenwriting competitions. Because usually most agencies and producers won't take a blind submission. So that's the way they are willing to read your work usually. So that's what I would recommend. Hey, Stanlos, I like your picture of Wonder Woman there. Angela says, Grace, did you hear the rumor that Andrew Garfield is Spider-Man in Venom 3? I don't know about that. Here's the problem. There are a lot of really crazy, ridiculous rumors flying around about these Sony Spider-Man movies, but yet it's a Sony Spider-Man movie, so they could be true. And happy birthday, Angela! I'm glad you guys like my choices of Westerns. That makes me very happy. Ben, I can't talk about the Beatles casting until it's confirmed by a trade, although maybe it has been since we started filming. And then Sana says, why should I, who is not a Star Wars fan, watch The Acolyte? You're probably most likely to like it, to be honest with you. I saw someone in a comment on my videos. Thank you, Wiki Nomad, and thanks, Ben. On a comment on one of my videos say that it's a little bit like The Last Jedi all over again. We see 50 memberships. That is so incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, Despicable Me is PG? It's going to make even more money. But anyway, what were we talking about? We see. You just totally blew me away with that. That was just so nice. Thank you. Oh yeah, but someone talked about The Last Jedi, and that people really who liked that were not huge, like hardcore Star Wars fans, who were like, I think really bogged down in the lore. Like I had a couple of people in the comments being like, that's not the way the Sith work. And I was like, who cares, man? You know, it's a good story. And I think, that, you know, what side are you on? Right? That's like, I think what's going to divide people. Somebody said they just finished Fargo. And my favorite seasons. I'd say my favorite seasons of Fargo were the last one and then the first one. Those I thought were the best. We see that really was incredibly generous of you. Look how many people now get to be members for a month. That was just really, really nice of you to do that. All right, quick shout outs. Where are you? What are you doing so I can say hi? And then I'll work on my Wiki Nomad says Bad Boys on IMAX on Thursday. Yeah, I think it is worth it. I don't know if you need to pay for the IMAX, but I think it's worth seeing in theaters. Bye, Leon. Cool Hives. I'm sorry to hear that your mother passed away and today's her birthday. But you know what? I think that's really sweet that you're thinking of her. Let's see here. Adam Sphere took the day off in Hawaii. And look, you got a gifted membership today. I saw that. Let's see here. Tenerife says, my favorite Fargo is 1, 2, and 5. I probably would agree with that because I think I remember 2 really well. Oh, yeah, Kirsten Dunst. Right, Alberto. Yes, I agree. I agree with Tenerife. 1, 2, and 5 for sure. CM is drinking a kombucha in Dallas. I've never had a kombucha, but I hear it's fun to say. Let's see here. Eddie Wu is home for the summer in Jersey, rewatching all the X-Men movies. Oh, that sounds like a good endeavor. Well, Mandito is taking a sick day, laying on the couch watching this lovely stream. Feel better. Being sick in the summer sucks, but I'm really glad. Let's see here. I'm really glad that we're able to keep you company. Michael, I'm still mispronouncing your last name. You gotta DM me or message me on Twitter how to say it. Let's see here. John Thrasher says, pre-production on my podcast. Are you a true crime fan? I do like true crime, but it's wonderful that you're starting a podcast. Eli says, taking a break with my boyfriend during work and watching the stream. Hi guys, I'm glad you guys are together and you're watching together. Aided Buffalo is chugging Chinese with chips. Let's see here. Well, Danny says, at home, sending love from Guatemala. Hey, Danny. Thanks, Film Fanatic. I'm glad you feel this is another great stream. And Mic Drop is on baby duty today at home. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, coochie coochie coo. I love your use of emojis there. Cat Jack says, please send me energy. I'm on the way to work with bad joint pains and cold shivers. Couldn't find a substitute who could take over my night shift. I can't believe they're making you come in when you sound so sick, Cat Shack. You should just come in, like, physically. I think you should, like, get a blanket, sit in the corner, and tell everyone to stay away from you and be like, do you want this to be you in a couple of days? Get away from me. That's what I would advise. If your boss won't be kind, hopefully your coworkers will be. Let's see here. Nikki Andrew says, we are celebrating another birthday in our house. My son turns 11 today. Happy birthday! He's a huge fan. He would love a shout out. His name is Dom. Dom, happy birthday. You're 11. Look at you. You're getting so big and you have the whole summer ahead of you for fun and you have a family that loves you and got you a shout out on the stream. Things sound pretty good for you, Dom. I love it. Let's see. Look at all the people giving Dom a shout out. That's so nice. Xtina says, in Fort Worth, saw the JT concert last night. You go to a lot of concerts, Xtina. That's pretty awesome. Concerts are so awesome. Jack says, just had dinner in Liverpool, UK. So glad to be a member again. I'm glad to have you back. And Finn Moreau says, on a diet with you, Grace. Oh, that's good. I'm back on my diet, too. Almost 10 kilograms down. That's great. Good for you. Adam Sphere says, I've gotten gifted memberships for 3 months in a row. You must engage with the channel a lot, Adam Sphere, and I know that you do, because I see your comments all the time. That's how you're most likely to get a membership, the most engaged with the channel. Maisie, happy Pride Month to everyone, definitely. Happy Pride Month, everybody. I was like, why is Matthew Lillard trending today? And I saw that he very aggressively wished everyone a happy Pride Month, and I thought that was really nice. I was like, what a guy. Ben's just had dinner in Hungary and is hungry no more. I couldn't resist. I couldn't do it. I had to do it. Ivan Sarmientos is here in Mexico, also a little sick, but planning to watch Godzilla -1 tonight with my dad. Ah, that's so sweet. My pleasure, CM. I'm so glad you enjoyed the stream as well. Let's see here. RJ says, at work, fixing computers. Oh, doing the Lord's work. Let's see here. Look at all the Pride Month love. I love it. And then Ricardo says, got tickets to see the re-release of The Mummy in cinemas in July. Love from Brian and Ricardo in Edinburgh. You'll have a great time with that. I remember those movies. They're so fun. And iHeart Movies is in Ohio, on my way to the hospital to visit a family friend. That's so kind of you. Swing by the gift shop and get them a little something. It could be just very small, but something for their room I think is always a nice touch. But I think you being there obviously is so nice. You will decorate the room. You'll be like, here I am. Let's see here. Babette, you're just trying to get me. Babette, what kind of a question is that? All right, let's see here. Hey, Camo. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for rejoining. Oh, we see. You gave 50 memberships in honor of Pride Month. That's so sweet. That's the LGBT community is one of the most generous communities that I think I've ever seen, and I'm really glad to see that generosity reflected back to them. Let's see here. Jico says, got my friend flowers for graduation with a bachelor's degree. That's excellent. All right, I better go work on that. I better go work on my Bad Boys review, which will go up this evening, like in about an hour or so. And then we'll have another stream tomorrow. Friday I'll be off, but we have another stream tomorrow. And it was really nice seeing all of you. And then, of course, we got a lot of stuff. June's just starting to pick up steam. The Acolyte's going. Then we're going to add the boys to this mix. And then House of the Dragon. We're going to have a great time. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow. And see you a little bit later with Bad Boys. Bye-bye. Thanks, Wiki Nomad. Thank you very much. I saw that at the last minute there. Thank you.